Welcome. In front of me is a Realme Note 50, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look at the phone itself. So let's just get straight into it. Make it real. Okay, cool. Inside we get a case, which is really nice. Now based on the box size, we get a case, but we don't get a charger. Yep, it looks like I'm correct. Indeed. We also get a cable, so no surprise there. And the phone. Let's boot it up and start off with the display. So the display right here is a 6.7-inch display running a resolution of 720 by 1600 LCD IPS at 90 Hertz with 560 nits of brightness. That is peak brightness. So it doesn't get too bright. It also boasts a 85% screen to body ratio with pixel density of 260. Now, flipping it over to the back. What was that noise? Okay then. Anyway, let's, I guess, completely ignore the noise that this device just made. And talk about the cameras. So the main sensor right here is a 13 megapixel f2.2 wide sensor, and then below that we just have a sticker camera, which they classify as 0.08 megapixel auxiliary lens, which is basically technical speak for dog shit stuck onto your phone, just so we can fill out, you know, the triple circle standard, I guess, because this is a flash, which by itself could have been put not in its own space, but for instance just next to the camera like we have right here, but you know, it just has to do circles, so yeah, it fills out the standards, which none of us really give a shit about it, so yeah, it's just completely meaningless, just like this camera. Anyway, now continuing on, at the front we have a 5 megapixel wide sensor, and with those cameras you can record at least the back ones 1080p 30 frames, front 720p 30 frames, so basically underwhelming at best. Now internally we have a Unisoc Tegra T612 processor, a 5000 mAh battery that can charge at 10 watts, either 3 or 4 gigabytes of RAM with 64 at entry gigabytes of storage, and goes to 128 gigs of storage with 4 gigs of RAM. The 120 only comes with 4. Well, 64 has 4 and 3. And let's see, anything else? There we have a fingerprint sensor that doubles as a power button. We have a plastic frame, unfortunately, plastic back as well, which I guess is no surprise here, and the glass front, though it doesn't really specify the what kind of glass it is, so I don't know if it's Cornell, Gorilla or anything like that, so no idea about that one. And last thing to mention will be the price of this device, which this comes at about £200, a little bit below 150 euros, so it is basically a low-end device, though this one is so low in price that, or so low in specs, because the price at 140 euros, I wouldn't say it's the bottom of the barrel, so it could be cheaper for what I would say they offer here. And in any case, I do mention this all the time, for people looking for a cheap device, but you do want to have some usability of it and just not be infuriated with it, I would recommend spending at least $200 on your device, which at that price you will have a device that is significantly better than what you have right here, improving on everything that you have right here while not needing to pay as much. Now it still could be considered double the price that you initially wanted to pay, but what I'm getting at is, in the grand scheme of things, from the very lowest price to the one of the highest ones. So if we go from like $100 to $1,000, you're getting just a flagship with everything just almost maxed out. When you get a device at $100, you basically get the bare minimum, as low end as you possibly can. Now, when it comes down to devices like $200, they are significantly better than the ones at $100, which this kind of increase in price doesn't correlate later on to increase in performance. So devices at $600, if you go to $1,000, $1,200, they don't really differ all that much. But from $100 to $200, it's a significant bump in specifications that you will get to feel. So I would recommend looking at devices that are a bit higher priced. Something like I said, like $200. This will be for a low-end device. I would say that's like a sweet spot that you might want to look for, which will give you a device that functions reasonably snappy and performs everything that you need it to perform, but isn't, blowing out your wallet. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.